School. Kelly Fox is back with us today. Kelly is the best-selling author and speaker and has been featured by NBC News to discuss her work. Kelly has been a coach for over 13 years and she's kept busy with her 6 children. She has spoken to many groups, supporting them to find ways to achieve their goals and dreams. Kelly supports her clients to gain the confidence to take risks and to step out of their comfort zones. Welcome, Kelly. And I have to tell you, I am so excited to be back with you today. We got such a great response last time from people who really felt energized to move out of their comfort zone and work with being authentic. And that's what we're going to talk about today is being authentic in your business, doing things with intention, and how that can support your business goals and get you the clients of your dreams, the ones that you want to work with.
Yeah.
So, super excited today.
Yes. Thank you, Kelly. It is so awesome to be here and to be back at CEO school. And I'm excited to share some more tools with you.
Wonderful. So, today we're going to talk about intention. Can you talk a little bit about that and what it means and you know
Absolutely.
how that fits?
Yeah. So when I'm talking about intention, it may be a little bit different than what you're used to. It's not like, oh, I intend to do this next. It's a statement that you practice. So we start the statement with today, I am willing to practice. And then you add to the end whatever it is that you're wanting to practice. So if you're wanting to practice, believing in yourself, practice trusting yourself, practice um, you know, uh, taking more risks, whatever it might be that you're wanting to implement more in your business, this would be an intention statement that you would write down and put up where you see all the time so that you're constantly reminded this is something that you are practicing. And we definitely want to have the word practice there because we're not going to do it every single time at the beginning. We're going to forget, we're going to mess up. And so, for those perfectionists out there, recovering or not perfectionists, it gives you a little bit of leeway when you put in that word practice.
I love that idea because, yeah, I may represent that remark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, feeling like you are not, you know, you're not a failure if you didn't do it 100% of the time sounds good to me.
Yes. Yes, it's necessary for a lot of people. You are not alone. By
Awesome. That sounds great. Yes, I am recovering. However, it still will sneak in, yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
it
So,
happens.
how let's talk about how you do that. How do you,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I want to write a statement. What what kind of statement should I write? What are the implications of that? How does it help me? I'm just going to let you loose to
Yeah.
talk about it.
Thank you. So, this is a statement by Rhonda Britton, who is the CEO and founder of the Fearless Living Institute, which is where I received my training and advanced training. And she says, an intention is a proactive statement written in the present tense that encompasses an overall attitude towards life. So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. So this is something that you're going to practice. Maybe you're going to practice having compassion for yourself because you've been beating yourself up lately about not doing something that you've said you wanted to do, or there's something that scares you and you've been avoiding it. So this is something that you want to practice so that when you come to those situations, you're able to kind of baby step your way through it. So
I love that. And I just wanted, sorry, a little editorial comment from me.
yeah,
I love that you came with your slides. I do not technically know. We have a little screw up and it's all on me. So that's why you're seeing the browser window and not seeing just the slides up there in a little professional. I don't want anyone to think that's on Kelly's end. It's on this Kelly's end. So
Nah,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know how
But
to use StreamYard either, so it's all good. Mhm.
okay. So
All
now
good.
let's go back to what you're talking about, because this is great. So
Yeah,
you're creating a positive statement about what you want to, the
practice.
result you want.
Yeah. So you might be familiar with these three terms. So, an affirmation, a lot of people are familiar with, and if it works for you, awesome, keep doing them. And it is a positive result or a positive result oriented statement written in the present tense. So you're calling something forth. It's not something that you currently have, it's something that you want to happen. And so you're calling that forth to you. An intention we just went over. And then there's a goal. And goals support an intention. They also are flexible because they can be changed, altered, or adjust. So if you're practicing having more compassion, then a goal could be, saying something nice to yourself 5 times a day, or when you start feeling like you're going to beat yourself up, you have something to say to yourself to shift yourself out of that beat up mode into a more positive, compassionate mode, right? So those are goals that support your intention. Okay. And then what we're going to do, so these slides that I'm using are part of a longer workshop that I do called Change Your Life. And so that's why you don't have the worksheet, but we're going to go through it. So I want you to think about, what is your number one desire? So I talked about compassion. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's trusting. Maybe it's, believing in yourself, letting go of self-limiting beliefs, but you would want to rephrase that in a more positive way. Whatever it is around your business that you're wanting to bring in, you want to think about that number one desire. Okay. And then first, I'm going to stop sharing real quick. First, we're going to think of, how can we write that in an affirmation? So how can we call that forth to us? So my intention is, my overarching intention is always, I am willing to practice trusting myself. So if you look at that, so writing that in an affirmation could be, I am trusting myself in all of my choices, right? That's an affirmation. That's something that I'm not currently doing, that I'm calling forth. Right. An intention is that today I'm willing to practice trusting myself. Okay. So, and then goals, we want to write our goals for that. So, what are ways that I can practice trusting myself? Right. So, I have a decision before me. How am I going to trust myself to make that decision? Now, with some things, because I've been practicing this for a long time, so some things are really easy for me to do now, but weren't in the past. So if you're new at trusting yourself, or you're new at practicing this thing, there's going to, it can be simple things, right? Like just getting dressed, picking out my outfit. I would have to be like, do you think this looks okay? The does it match? Does it go right? Do my shoes look okay with this? Should I wear jewelry? Should I not? Right? There's all these questions, and you might doubt yourself with making a decision. And so you can practice saying, I'm capable of doing this, right? And if I end up not liking it, I can change, right? So it's taking those little steps towards what you're wanting to do. So if it's confidence, what's some little thing that you can do to help build your confidence? One thing that builds confidence is taking a risk. So what is one little thing that you can do that's outside your comfort zone, right? Take a stretch. What is one little thing that you can do? Take a little risk, right? And then that builds confidence. So that's a way that you can practice building that confidence, right? If you're wanting to be more consistent, showing up more consistently, what is something that you can do that's small to support yourself in that effort? Right? If it's consistent social media for your business, is there a tool out there that can support you in consistently showing up? For me, I use Pebler and I schedule out all of my posts. So it's not like I'm waking up that morning going, what am I going to post today? Right? I consistently show up every day with a post, and that supports me to be consistent. Right? So what is some small goal or step that you can do in supporting yourself to practice consistency, practice trusting yourself, practice um, having more confidence, right? So that's kind of how that works, right? And so I'd love to hear back from anyone of how they constructed their affirmation, their intention, and their goals to support them in really tweaking that intention to be positive, stated in the present, action oriented, and um, leaves you feeling empowered and motivated. And if it does that, then it is a great statement. Also, you don't want it to be too long because you want to be able to memorize it and have it come up in your mind really quickly. So if it's super long or wordy, then you're not going to be able necessarily to remember it as easily. And so you want to be able to just have it come right to mind when those moments come up, and you're going to be practicing in that moment your intention.
I love that. And also, I think that when you have a short statement, if you've got a long statement, you don't have a bias towards action. So if you have a short statement that's concise, it's not only easier to remember, it also puts you in action instead of thinking about the thing that, So I really like that tip. I think it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can use it anywhere. And you can have an overarching intention, which covers all aspects of your life, right? Because we trust ourselves in our business, with our kids, getting dressed, like I said, right? With our friends, driving, right? There's all these different places in our lives where we trust ourselves. Or you can write a really specific intention for maybe a conversation that you're going to have coming up, a sales call, or a Facebook Live, or your workshop, or speaking somewhere, right? There's maybe a specific way you want to practice showing up in those moments that you can write a specific intention statement for that. So maybe today I'm willing to practice being present and in the room. Today I'm willing to practice trusting my intuition and saying what it's telling me, right? So there you can write something specific for a situation or a daily intention, and you can have an overarching intention. You can have as many as you want, though I would keep it to just a few at first until you're more comfortable with practicing the ones that you already have, and then you can kind of insert another one. Though having a daily intention or a specific intention is something that you can definitely do, because once the situation's over, the intention's over, right?
I like that too. Long, long ago when I worked in retail, we picked a product of the day that we could basically focus on when we talk to customers. So uh, it might be a lotion or a potion or whatever, but that one product, we tried to make sure that everybody saw it. Maybe they sampled it if that was appropriate, all those things. And it not only boosted the sales for that day, it created more general awareness. So this applies in different situations. One thing I would say from my experience, and correct me if I'm wrong, is limiting yourself to one or two intentions, particularly in the beginning,
Yeah.
is probably going to be more successful in being able to accomplish, because you're not going to have ping ponging things going on in your mind. And when we talk in my groups about goals, we typically limit ourselves to one or two goals, and that's it. Because if you are trying to accomplish 15 things, none of them get done to perfection. Where if you're
No,
focused on one thing, you
it'll most
really
likely get
focus.
done.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it gets done. Exactly. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And it makes sense to focus on what you want to accomplish, but you can accomplish it all. You just can't accomplish it all at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Excellent. So, I do want to ask you, I know you've got workshops coming up. I've been to your workshops. They are great. Lots and lots of information there. Can you put that information for us in the chat? So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, they'll be able to do that later, and that'll be after we finish here. Just swoop in and put your contact information and the details. And I know and the details of what you have coming up in the chat. And I know that you put your email, kelly@kellylynncoaching.com. Uh, so if somebody wants to get a hold of you there, they can do that also. That's
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
so
And I do my workshops with my business partner, who is also an advanced coach, and my mom. So we are called Fearless Generations. So if you go to fearlessgenerations.org, you can definitely see all of our virtual workshops that we have there under the tab of virtual events. And I will also put that information in the chat. Thank you.
fabulous. Thank you so much, Kelly. A ton of information in a short time, but I can guarantee you, if you focus on one or two of these intentions and you make them a priority, and I love the idea of a daily intention, because again, focus for just one day, and you will get mastery. It won't be probably in that one day, but
Right.
you will
Mhm.
get mastery. So I love it. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait until we get you the next time.
Yes, I would love to come back.
Perfect. Thank you.